times. Queer times. Queer times.
Smitten.
Hi, Harrison.
Hi,
Welcome to Queer Times. I'm Kristen Becker.
I'm Harrison Fish.
Are you ready to do this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, great. First of all, how are you? What's going on? What week is this that you are in? This is like you've been there a month now, give or take.
Yeah, about.
Okay, and catch me up.
I'm settling in. I haven't
Okay.
ventured out much, embarrassingly so. It's hard.
I don't think that's embarrassingly so. I think that you have moved to a new place. You have a few friends there already. So there's
Mhm.
like a low grade social sustainability happening.
Yeah.
If you need to socialize, you could call one of, I don't know, 10 people. I don't know. Um
I don't have 10 friends in the world.
all right. Well, like one of 4 people, but
Yeah,
and sniffies.
exactly.
Which
And that
like
is
which I think
keeping me
is
busy.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, I
Um
when I say I'm not venturing out, it's because I host.
I see. Why go anywhere? You move somewhere where it will all just come to you,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
or at you, or on you.
Mhm.
Okay, so what you're saying is you're happy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not good at change. I'm very much a creature of habit, so things like this are very hard for me, but I'm gonna make it work.
But we do hard things.
Very true, very true.
All the more reason to feel proud of having challenged yourself, and you are now being rewarded with a fondue of dick. I'm just like
Right,
dick that you can just dip into anytime you want.
exactly.
Always the perfect temperature, just waiting for you. That was a terrible reference, but we're gonna leave it in. Leave it in, Chad.
How is it over on the East Coast in New England on Cape Cod? Chili?
P-Town. It's chilly. It is chilly, and I made chili. It
Mm.
is chilly. I had an impromptu must run away to Boston to at the last minute go see Sarah McLachlan, and if that's not the gayest thing,
Work.
yeah. And I'm upset, and I think it was two-sided. I was going about my business, and a friend of mine from South Carolina, Danny J, who we love, I went to college with, actually went to high school with her and college, sends me an interview of Sarah McLachlan in Boston.com. And I had remembered that she was coming, but didn't know when. And I look at the article, I'm like, oh, it's tonight. And I say casually to my girlfriend, KT, Sarah McLachlan's in Boston tonight. And KT, kind of without missing a beat, was like, I'd go. And I was like, oh, and it's right. And it's KT's birthday week. And so I was like, you know how it is when you're like, let's be spontaneous, babe. I was like, babe, should we just go right now? Fortunately, we have friends, Emily and Adam in Boston, that not only have an extra bed, but they have a dog who loves our dog and their dog friends. And so it was very easy to,
Cute.
if there were tickets, there were. We got incredible seats. Like it kind of felt like there were some last minute comps that got opened up because we were
Mm.
literally like center, mid, like perfect seats
Oh, work.
for a very affordable price, and it was fucking incredible. Sarah McLachlan has the voice of an angel,
Truly.
and it isn't just because I thought she was hot when I was in my 20s. I mean, I still think she's hot and I'm in my 40s, but she also has the voice of an angel. And it was interesting because I think part of the catalyst of this adventure was also that Erica Badu was in Boston the night before, and I missed it, and no one texted me about that interview. And I'm sure we could do a deep dive about how white my friends are, but funny enough, the person who texted me about Sarah McLachlan is a person of color. So, like, it's a weird thing. But anyway, I think that having missed Erica Badu the night before really was like, we were both mad about it. So it was a last minute trip to Boston to see Sarah McLachlan, which was incredible. And side note, since I just brought the two of those in together, if you haven't seen the Lilith Fair documentary, you should watch it. Have you seen it, Harrison?
I started it. I did not finish it. I started it too late at night and then was like, I want to give this some good time. So I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay, that's better. I thought you were going to be like, I started it.
I started it. It was like,
"Ah."
ugh. Are they ever going to have any men on this TV? I'm just kidding.
I was wondering if that's what it was. So yeah, and then it was KT's birthday this week. So my
Cute.
perfect person had a birthday, and we threw a little soiree, if you will, not too many, not too little, 15, 16, a curated guest list.
Cute.
And I made the best pot of gumbo I've made in a long time.
Those Louisiana roots coming out.
Oh, it was definitely coming out. And then Mackenzie, who we know and love, says, as taking gumbo, Becker, do I need to put like hot sauce in this? And I was like,
Oh,
listen, bitch.
drag her.
Mm-mm, no, ma'am. And then she called her. I was like, girl, but also, I'll have to, if you go to my socials or KT socials, Mackenzie made a gluten-free 2-layer cake with a hand-poured chocolate alien woman with nice tits and hand-painted astrology tattoos, and so made a gluten-free cake for KT.
Work. That's really sweet.
It was really sweet and great. So all in all, 10 out of 10 week when we're talking about personally. And the universe also gave us craziness. I was just going back to last week's episode to be like, oh, what did we talk about? Like, what was last week? What was this week? And how was that? How was
How was that
Bubba
only a week
just a
ago?
week ago?
Right. Did you
That is
see the picture? There's a
which
picture
picture?
floating. There's a picture floating around the internet that is that they're saying is the picture.
There's a picture of Trump blowing Bubba. Do you have it?
It's all over. I've mostly seen it on TikTok.
Oh, it's probably fake.
People are saying that they don't think it's fake. It's not AI because like it's in front of a bookshelf
Uh,
and like the books are detailed and like usually like those type of details just turn into mush with AI.
you want to just text it to me?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's looking pretty legit.
I've never seen Bill look at Hillary like that. And so, for those reasons, I think it's real. This to me feels like some skull and crossbones, secret society. You have to do something embarrassing as initiation. And what year was this photo?
It's right at the bottom. It says October 23rd, 04.
Oh.
But whatever.
But I would like to say that is, I don't see a dick in the mouth.
Right. Which almost makes more sense. Like this was a joke stage photo. They took a picture. Oh, does Putin have the picture? Blah blah blah. Like that all seems more real than Donald Trump actually filleting Bill Clinton and there being photographic evidence of it.
Yeah, I think that this does make the most sense. And it seems to me like he just got Al Frankened. Remember when Al Franken had he was like, but not really touching somebody, but just was like, and so they were like, oh, that photo looks like that's what this looks like to me, that there was an inside joke going on. But also, if you've spent the last 10 years berating the Clintons,
Right.
probably not something you want to get out, right? Like that
True,
that makes
true,
sense,
true.
right? Okay, so that's where we left. We left it Bubba. And we also left, let's remember, on the idea that did the Democrats end the shutdown early, not early, but end the shutdown, cave, get no gains on healthcare whatsoever in order to release these Epstein files. And then what happens? Have you heard anything about Epstein? No, because Mom Donnie went to the White House. Like, can we talk about that?
Yeah. Well, as like we like I feel like a lot of us expected for like the Epstein files to come out and there to be this huge thing, but I don't know, it feels like there hasn't been this big reveal. Is there more still coming?
Well, there's definitely going to be more still coming because the Senate, there was the drama of the House passes it and the Senate passes it. Well, everybody except for Clay Higgins. Can we talk about that? The one guy who didn't vote for it. It's such a Louisiana thing to do, number one. Like, I was just really like, Clay Higgins. Clay Higgins has been in office forever. And I don't know, like, the only person I now believe is in the Epstein files is Clay Higgins at this point.
Right,
I'm like,
exactly.
how are you the only one who is like, nah? Like, I don't know what he thought, if he thought that that was going to garner him favor with Trump, like knowing it wouldn't matter. So why don't I just do this? All that aside, Trump's signed it, right? And now we're waiting to see what comes out, but it's going to be select files, is what I've been told, is what I've been reading.
Yeah. I imagine
but there is certainly more.
Yeah, but they're saying that they're redacting it to the extreme, and of course they were going to do that. So,
but magically, no one has talked about it. Have you heard anything about it in the last week? Like since we last spoke, and now no one's talking about it because Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to resign, and Trump could not resist Mamdani.
It's crazy. Yeah, so Donnie went down to DC this past week to have a meeting with Donald Trump. They had their meeting.
Wait,
It's
let's start there real quick
yeah.
because I've heard people say, "Why is he even going?" And what are your thoughts on that?
I kind of don't quite know why he's going, but I think it is kind of this show of like I'm not going to grandstand. I'm going to take every opportunity I can to do what's best for New Yorkers. And having a conversation with the president of the United States, I think he's not going to morally grandstand and say like, "Oh, I'm not going to talk to him." It's like I'll talk. He's going to talk to anyone if it can help New Yorkers, which I think is great.
And he is walking in peak Riz, right? Like
Oh yeah,
you're right off the election win. You know you've got the most game you could possibly have at this point. When you're someone who works in charisma and that's what Trump deals in, that's his currency he uses. If you could come in peak Riz, you definitely, I see him taking that. I just saw that, some people were not happy. But I feel like if the president of the United States calls you to the White House and you are the mayor of a major city, you should probably go see what's up, right? But did you,
well,
yeah, go ahead.
the meeting was actually by request of Mamdani's team.
Oh, Mom Donnie asked for the meeting.
I think it was one of those things where it was like there was a lot of reporters, "Oh, are you going to meet with Trump? Are you going to do this?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure, let's meet." I don't think it was like I need to meet with the president, but I think
Right.
it's like people were talking about it. And so I think he was like, "Yeah, I will."
And got there, and everybody on the MAGAs lost their mind. Like, really couldn't believe, number one, that this person was even going to be offered an opportunity to be in the White House. But then Trump just loved him.
Yeah. So they had their meeting and then they were like, "Let's invite the press in." They were chummy.
Because it was supposed to be just a private meeting.
Yeah.
And then Trump just thought this guy was so charming, he wanted to be seated next to him. He likes winners. Trump loves winners. So that makes sense. Did you see that coming?
Like yes and no. No, I didn't think they were going to get along, and I thought they were both going to use it as an opportunity to like kind of put the other in their place.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like Trump has no standards, he has no backbone, he has no morals or values, and he deals in a world where like, "Oh, he's a good guy. He shook my hand really good." I don't think Trump doesn't have values or morals that he is basing whether he likes this person on. He is some loser New Yorker, good old boys kind of vibe, and I think the vibe was good. And
Yes.
he doesn't care about policy or anything.
And to that point is I've been thinking a lot about this. He doesn't care about policy. He only cares about good vibes and Riz and who's a winner and who's charismatic. And his numbers are kind of in the tank right now. And
Oh,
I'm
terrible.
wondering, oh my God, could you imagine what if this is the thing that turns like because we're like, no, wait, no, we have cool people. You don't have cool people over there. We actually
Right.
have cool people. And if you stop listening to Mitch, I'm 100 years old McConnell, you'll succeed. But what if this is when Trump decides to go left? Like, could you imagine if we come out of this a democratic socialist nation and Trump did it? How would you feel about that?
Well, I think that is happening, but just not with Trump. But that's one of our other topics. But we can talk about that in a minute.
Okay, okay, okay,
I think
okay.
I think Mamdani is causing that, but not with Trump.
You don't think Trump? I think Trump would happily jump on any winning train as this catastrophe is starting to unfold on his side. Like, I really feel like,
I think Trump's only real goal is to have the billionaire class succeed, and that is Mamdani's expressed goal to not have happen. So I just don't think they'll ever be able to find a common ground because the results of the result they both want is so different.
when you watch something and you're like, this doesn't seem real, right?
Hmm.
Like the assassination attempt. Is Trump smart enough to have gotten out of the Epstein situation by falling in love with Mom Donnie? Like, did he know that the most newsworthy thing he could have done was to treat him like his long lost son? And did we just get played?
I mean, I don't think so. I just think I don't know what he thought was going to come out of. Like, I can't imagine he was playing us because I don't think Trump liking Mamdani is going to make people who like Mamdani like Trump. I don't
Right.
think that'll ever happen. But do think that Trump liking Mamdani would make Trump supporters not like it would be like you said, his ratings are in the toilet. I think it would be yet another reason for people to be like, what the fuck?
His people are definitely like that. I do think that at his core, Trump reads every single room, and whoever in the room seems to be the most liked is who he wants to like him the most. I wish that Trump drank, because then I would be like, I'd have a beer with that guy.
With
I,
Trump?
I'd have a beer with that guy. I'd have a beer with that guy. I know how to bring Riz, and I am a winner. And so I've always thought that I would have a good chance talking some sense into this guy.
I
That's
hear
the
you.
and that's the ego, right? And that was my other side, was like, did Mamdani go into this with that ego and that confidence of like, I'm gonna do it regardless of what his base might think about it, right?
Hmm.
I just feel like it's only 2 weeks later and we ended the shutdown, possibly for the Epstein thing. There's no healthcare. We're living in a world where Trump and Mamdani are texting, I think.
No.
And I think they're texting. I feel very confident that they're texting.
I don't think so. I think Mamdani left still being like, this guy's the worst. But he
That
said
doesn't
he's gonna help me do what I want to do. So
Yeah, and we've all, I mean, not that like Trump is his boss, but like we've all been in this power dynamic where like you go meet with somebody, they're going to be able to do things for you. You need them on your good side. They like you more than you like them. And they text you and they want to hang out. And sometimes you got to text them back, not a lot, but enough to keep them. It's dating. You got to keep them enough on, yeah, this is real. You got to keep them on the hook enough so that way down the line you can not have your city invaded.
I guess that's true. I do think like one of the topics discussed was affordability, and obviously Trump ran a lot on affordability this past presidential cycle, but he has very clearly failed to deliver on any affordability in any space in any part of the country. I think one of the craziest things is that when he was talking about affordability, I just found this video of him being like, oh yeah, we're talking about groceries. I hadn't heard the word groceries in so long. It's an old-fashioned term, groceries. And I'm just like, what?
What the part where he hadn't heard the term groceries?
Right.
I mean, when's the last time he's gone shopping?
No, I understand, but usually politicians are so much better at pretending.
No, he's never. I don't that part. He's never going to be that. He's never going to be that
Right.
guy.
The moment that went the most viral and people had the most to say about with the Mamdani and Trump meeting was once the press was brought in, one of the questions asked to Zoran Mamdani was, do you still think Trump is a fascist and a despot? And he was like, what? And then Trump jumped in and was like, you can just say yes.
Classic crowd work. That was no, that was so good. That was so good, and that is why, like, people were like, "Why do people follow Trump?" And that's why, because he knows it's all a game. And he knows that, and he followed it with, you can say yes, don't bother trying to explain to them, it will take too long, they're not going to get it, just say yes.
Well,
And
yeah, he also went, yes, yes, I do.
yeah, exactly, and more of that. I feel like this is a easily manipulated human being, and instead of fighting against the river, we should be fighting with the current. And what Mamdani did was ride it and navigate it. It feels like, because there is no real North Star in this administration, that the right an amount of charming, young, good-looking men could sway his mind.
When they came
I
out of
don't
the
want to
meeting,
sound like I have hope about Trump in any way. I don't want to
right.
make it. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Right. Well, at the end of the after the meeting, Trump basically said he'd be cheering for Mamdani, and then he had expressed that he expected to help him and not hurt him, which is, like you said, I think Mamdani's biggest thing with going to meet Trump was like, let's see if I can get him on my good side so that he doesn't invade New York City. Mamdani, on the other hand, said he has made it clear that his political views had not softened, and he still believes that Trump is a fascist and a despot.
I like it, and by not being afraid, or not avoiding it, or not boycotting it, or not canceling it, and just going and meeting it head on, there was respect earned
Hmm.
for Mamdani.
Yeah.
from that office, and it's going to be important in the long run.
Okay, now let's talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Let's talk about Margie.
I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene has been in the news a lot lately, and most specifically because it seems like she has an ever widening rift with Donald Trump and the MAGA base, which was kind of her bread and butter when she first got into politics and for the past couple years. She's said that she's had a rift with Republicans over the Epstein files, over the reopening of the government without the Obamacare subsidies. It seems like she really realized that that would really hurt her constituents and
Mhm.
kind of backtracked on it a little. This past week, she basically announced that she would be resigning in the beginning of January because of that rift. She said she wants to get back to her family and her life. She basically said she was feeling threatened, and that was the one of the biggest factors of her stepping down, which Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez said this as well, and I very much agree with her, is like, you have been at odds with and the receiver of Trump's ire for what, a month now, and you can't handle it. It's like I've been doing this as well as Democrats have been doing this since 2016.
On one hand, I'm like, actually, could be huge for someone who was such a stalwart of the MAGA movement to say, "Hey, y'all, this guy's full of shit," right? None of this is America first. Threatening Venezuela is not America first. Sending bombs to Israel is not America first. Sending, ruining our farmers and tariffs, and none of this is actually helping us. Could have been a big deal. On the flip side, Marjorie Taylor Greene was never in this to really affect change, right? This was a situation where I will believe she's an opportunist, and that doesn't mean that I don't think that she loves her country. I do think she loves her country, but I think it is ironic that she suddenly came to her senses and is going to resign immediately after her pension kicks in. Now, is her pension
Right.
right? You do 5 years of service, you get a pension. Is it going to be a ton of money? No, it's going to be like probably 9, 10,000 a year, whatever. But it's going to come with benefits. That part, the part where it's like, if it's really that bad, just walk out. Like
Yeah.
this
It's
isn't two. You're not giving 2 weeks notice right now, right? You're like, I'm going to resign as soon as I make sure to milk the government for everything I possibly can. More power to you. Get gone. Let's get us a veteran, gun toting, liberal trans person to take her spot. That's what I would like to see. I know they're in Georgia. Let's find our ex military trans folks in Georgia and go get Marjorie Taylor Greene's seat. Georgia is on the
yeah.
verge of going purple, and this might be the thing that pushes it over the edge.
Here's the thing. It's like when Marjorie Taylor Greene first ran for office, her net worth was about $700,000, and now, as of 2025, her net worth is about $25 million.
That's a good 5 years.
Yeah, she's used her position, as many do, as almost everyone does, to enrich themselves. Like you said, they make about $170,000 a year, yet she managed to increase her net worth by $5 million a year over the past 5 years.
Man,
Insider
maybe I
check.
will, maybe I will
Yeah,
run
let's
for
run.
office.
Let's run and
Honestly,
get
like
rich.
I was really like, nah, but you only got to do 5 years.
Yeah. Well, I
I
guess
mean,
you also have to remember, like, you look at the House of Representatives, you can probably name like or recognize the name of like 20 to 30 of them, you know?
mhm.
It's like you also have to be a star.
No, no, no. You only have to be a star to get the speaking engagements afterwards. The insider trading and the salary just comes with the office.
I guess that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that we could make a good couple mil
Mhm.
off of this.
Yeah. But
You
this
know,
is what I think Marjorie Taylor Greene's plan is going to be. I think she is leaving office so that she can regroup, run for a bigger office, either senator or possibly the president. And I think
wait. You think Marjorie Taylor Greene is gearing up to run for president?
yes.
Timestamp this. Okay, we're coming back to this one. 341 November 24th. We'll see this in 3 years.
But you have to, like, I think this is the problem, and it is the problem of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party, we've seen over the past few months fighting so hard against progressive ideals, and like people like Zoran Mamdani, they do not want healthcare for all. They do not want a universal healthcare system. They are not committed to affordability, and I think basically I don't think those are left wing ideas, Medicare for all and things like that. We've seen with Bernie in the way that people were Bernie supporters and then jumped to Trump, that it's not a spectrum, it's not a far left ideal, it's a populist ideal. And I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to run with all the religious far right social positions,
Okay.
but with populist ideals like Medicare for all and affordability. And I think it is going to be how the Republican Party continues after Trump, by stealing left wings left. I think a Democrat
Don't get their heads out of their ass.
yeah, if Democrats don't get their heads out of their ass and don't fully commit to affordability and these like democratic socialist ideals to make people's lives better, the right is going to do it.
And in the process of the right doing it, they'll throw the queers and they'll throw everybody else under the bus.
Right.
I That's a great observation, and
And that's what I was saying when you were like, "Oh, is Mamdani gonna move Trump left?" I was like, "No, I think he's moving Marjorie Taylor Greene left." And you think about it, what she's saying she's leaving over is the lack of focus on affordability. She's leaving it over this lack of America first. She is against the genocide in Israel, which is a lot of what Mamdani ran on. I think she's going to run on breaking alliance with Israel, affordability, and healthcare for all. And I think that is going to be hard to beat in 2028.
intrigue. Except one thing you're forgetting that I never forget: she got that old poon, and ain't nobody putting a woman in office. Even one with a gun. I know, maybe one with a gun. Maybe if she does like some of those ads where she's got like a rifle on her shoulder and like maybe, but I think she would be a vice presidential candidate.
Mm,
And I see what you're saying. Maybe obviously I don't want to be like a self-defeating woman, but I'm not convinced anyone's nominating a woman for president
mm.
anytime soon. But I do think you are very correct in that
I think if
we
either woman ran on Medicare for all and ending the war in Gaza, she would have won. I think Hillary Clinton, if she backed healthcare for all the way Bernie Sanders did, she would have won. I think if Kamala backed healthcare for all, universal healthcare, the way Bernie did and ran on that platform, she would have won.
I guess we will see. I do think it was important and necessary for this to have happened because we've got Democrats had a good run, and so that left a
When?
lot of in being in the Oval Office during that time. Everything about our country got worse, and people who came of age during that time had only one choice but to blame the people who had been in power, not realizing that it was bad before that and it was George W. Bush, right? Like that there needed to be this swing back for people to recognize that this isn't actually about left or right. It is about class. It is about wage disparity. It is about Americans not being able to afford a place to live while working a full-time job. It is about all of those things. Had they not come to power, the people who supported them wouldn't be able to see that, oh, it does happen under them too. It is still happening,
Mm,
right? This whole new young batch of voters now is like, oh, wait, no, I still can't afford a place to live. And what are you talking about? I voted for this guy, right? So I think
right.
that it's all part of that process.
It's also crazy that like the people who, let me do this math real quick. The people that are now 31, their first presidential election that they were old enough to vote in was Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Like
That's
I
what I'm
feel like
saying.
yeah, we still think that's there like there is a group of almost 15 years where people, this is the only Trump's America and Trump politics is the only thing they really know. Let's talk about one more little thing. So on X, formerly known as Twitter, they just rolled out a transparency tool where if you click on on everyone's X account, it says your join date, and if you click on it, it takes you to about this account page, which
Okay.
includes where the account is based in. And what it's based in is basically um an amalgamation of the other accounts that are associated with it, where the account was created, and it has revealed that a massive amount of MAGA and pro Trump accounts, and these are very, very popular ones, were not based in America. And most pro Trump accounts are based in the Middle East and Africa.
Which we kind of knew, right? Like
Yeah.
we've seen the documentaries about the bot farms, and that
Mhm.
other countries are engaging in, I don't want to say voter tampering, but a little bit of like tampering with our system. As soon as people from other countries were allowed to own any part of our mainstream media, I was really kind of over
Mm.
this idea that a bot farm in Ukraine mattered, because we've been letting Rupert Murdoch do it for a
Right.
while now, right? So
I'm just shocked that so many of the massive accounts are not based in the U.S. I have a few examples. There's MAGA Nation, which has about 400,000 followers, and their tagline is "America First" / Patriot Voice for We the People. They are based in Eastern Europe. Then there's
amazing.
Ivanka News, which has 1 million followers, posts about politics, immigration, identity politics, and support for Donald Trump. Is based in Nigeria. MAGA Scope, which has about 50,000 followers, also a very pro MAGA account, is based in Nigeria. And Dark MAGA, which is very small but is interacted with a lot by very um, well-known MAGA politicians, is based in Thailand.
How do we find out who's behind them?
Right.
Like, it's one
I
thing
mean,
to know where they're coming from, but like somebody's funding that,
yeah,
right?
I guess that's what I thought as well. Is like, and maybe this is showing my like lack of like international diplomacy, but like, who in Nigeria is willing to put in that much work and money so that Donald Trump is the president of the United States? Like, what do they benefit?
Is it that it's someone in Nigeria? Is it someone who wants to create jobs in Nigeria and has a vested interest in what's happening in this country and who's in office, and therefore they'll make those buys there? Is it because you can hire more people in Nigeria? Is it basic outsourcing?
That's what I was thinking as well. Like, is this like an Elon Musk who is like, why would I pay 200 people in California to do this when I could pay the same amount of people a fraction of the money to do this in Nigeria?
Or it could be someone who wants those people to make more money than they would normally make in Nigeria, and it would still cost less. That's the part that
Oh,
I really that
you're
gets
really
me about.
hoping for that?
Well, that's the part that gets me about capitalism. I'm like, all right, it's one thing if you're going to outsource jobs somewhere else. Can you at least pay them half of what you would pay? Like
Yeah,
this idea
like
that you're going to do it because you can pay them 4 cents a day. Like, what an asshole! Like you
give them
could
8
already
cents a
give them
day.
8 cents a day.
But there was one account that I thought was kind of the craziest thing. So there is a new Department of Homeland Security X account. They did not have a Twitter account before this administration. They're kind of known for posting kind of crazy stuff. Like, you're like, I can't believe a government agency is posting this kind of thing.
Okay.
Um, and initially, when this happened, the Department of Homeland Security was listed as being based in Israel,
Oh,
which is like so utterly unsurprising, but also at the same time, like, really shocking. Nikita Beer, who is the head of product, said that, like, oh, we just rolled this out. There's a lot of inaccuracies. We're just rolling out this feature. That was a mistake. When's the last time Twitter said that, like, oh, we just did a bad job. We didn't do that good of a job doing this, which is why that happened.
right, right.
It feels like there's such a speed run of craziness happening in the United States right now. And like you were talking about at the beginning of the episode, like, we were just talking about like, the things we were talking about last week seems like they were months ago. The things we were talking about a couple weeks ago seems like they were years ago. And it's just crazy that every week there's these incredible things that, if they happened 10, 15, 20 years ago, would have broke the government. They would have broke the internet. And now it's like, oh, the Department of Homeland Security's Twitter accounts based in Israel. Whatever.
And we would have been talking about it for weeks.
Yeah.
They would have like investigated it. There would have been a
Oh yeah.
commission. There would have been
Now
a
it's like
commission.
we're recording this on a Monday, and it's gonna be like a little stale come Wednesday when we release the episode. Let's see what wild stories we have for next week.
Do we have any bets? What could possibly?
Uh,
I know it feels like we could have
I'm
like a.
I'm not
a-
nearly creative enough.
Feels like we could have a like a wheel to spin
Hmm.
with like all the crazy things that might
Yeah.
happen by next
But
week.
I feel like it has to be like Mad Libs though. Marjorie Taylor Greene resigns. Like,
That's really funny. I am actually, don't be jealous, I'm going to record another podcast after this.
Oh, what podcast?
The Art Colony. I'm going to go
Oh,
be a
work.
guest on Gaston's, another Province Sound Recording Studio podcast on Gaston's Art Colony podcast. So I'm leaving here and I'm going to go over to the studio because now I'm recording at the
work.
Sass House.
I'm excited. What are you going to talk about?
Comedy and art and performance, I think.
Work.
Because you know
I mean,
do that.
Provincetown. Yeah, well, Provincetown has such a legendary history of stand-up comedians coming through Provincetown. And specifically, I feel like there's a big culture of queer women lesbian comedians.
There definitely is, and I'm going to touch on that a little bit in my knowledge, but I also, in doing research about that, like I really love stand-up as like not only a craft but like a tool, right? And that's the thing I really love to talk about, because I realized that Julie Wheeler, who is still in town, was here before I was here, and is somebody who I think might be able to even speak more on that. I got here like 2006, right? So as I was doing this research, because that was kind of what we were talking about. And then as I was doing the research, I saw, oh, wait, Julie Wheeler's in town. I was like, Gaston, you should have Julie Wheeler come and talk about that, more of that, because that's her lived experience, where I like got here a decade later and was like, where'd all the lesbians go? But yeah, there's a huge history of not, yes, lesbian comedians, but then just this idea of stand-up comedy as a really vital part of queer culture and queer history. And being the first out people on different television shows, and Bob Smith doing it on late night, and Leah Delaria doing it in Arsenio Hall, and just like kind of all of this stuff that reminds, I think that the lack of diversity in queer entertainment is allowing us to be polarized in a very, very, we're all drag queens. Do you know what I mean? We're all just dressing up as the other gender, trying to, and I feel like we need to keep reminding people that, like, Liberace, like,
Right.
we do other things.
Totally.
Anyway,
That's
so
exciting though. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So I'm gonna go do that.
Work.
And I'll see you the next time we do this.
Work.
And we're gonna tell everybody to like and subscribe and tell your friends.
Rate, review.
And rate, review. Yeah, leave a review. We haven't had a review in a while. So somebody.
Yeah. Follow us on TikTok.
Follow us on TikTok. That one's doing pretty well there, Harrison.
Yeah.
All right, great. Love you.
Queerly.
Queer is in.